No real intro today. I think you guys get it by now. It kind of follows the same pattern every week, but I switch it up. So today's cardio is going to be with, I think his name is Rick. He runs some Zumba classes on YouTube. Pick one of his longer ones or maybe two of his shorter ones. They all truly rank different on how easy it is to follow, and his are pretty easy to follow, but keep you moving. Then moving on to core, hollow rockers are going to be a staple. But remember, you're always welcome to bend your knees to make sure your lower back stays on the floor, or drop your arms. This week we're adding in some plank shoulder taps. And as hard as it is, really try to fight swaying your hips back and forth. And I'm calling these pike press leg lifts. Hands need to be near your knees, flat on the floor. I know I'm on my fingertips, and then you're gonna lift your legs up. These are the exercise for those kips. And last but not least, another staple, an arch hold for 20 seconds. Preferably with your feet together and your arms covering your ears. I know it says 2 rounds, but honestly, I think you could probably do 3. And everything's going to be 20. Day 2 is in the gym, and we are doing bars and vault again. Some things are going to be similar, like this. I know this is from week 1, but we are still doing wrist cars. We're going to add to that, so we're going to do some shoulder shrugs and front support just to get our shoulders moving, ready to go. And we're going to do a hollow hanging hold. You can't tell here, but I'm really trying to round in my ribs and lessen my hips. Our swing set is pretty identical to week 1, but you need to do 5 in a row instead of 3 in a row. Glide swings first. Try your best not to lose form. You see on my glide out, I am tilting my hips a little. The goal would be to keep those hips flat. Tap swings are also 5 in a row, and you're just trying to make them longer and bigger as we go. With any skill on bars, you're trying to manipulate the bar to really let it do some of the work for you. So at the bottom, I'm stretching in that long arch and trying to drag that bar to the ground. So recap, swinging needs to be long, and shape changes need to be quick. Week 1, we focused on basics and casting. Now we're going to try some circles. First station is some snapbacks, getting used to dragging the shoulders back as the legs kick forward. Back and forth with some back extensions off a panel mat. You really just go to push up, shoot your toes straight over. You don't need to be going to handstand. Just notice with these snaps, my hips are under. I'm not landing on my knees and sticking my butt out. With the extension rolls, you can do it down a wedge. Might be easier, but just make sure your shoulders are on the edge of the panel mat if you use that. Then it's time to try 5 circling skills. So you might just start with back hip circles and work your way up to free hips. Here I am just doing them off the block and trying to go back to the block while attempting to keep my arms straight. On the list it does say to do something fun, but I was just tired, so I ended up stopping after this. You can work on squat-ons, toe shoots, take your pick. Warm up for vault is very similar to last time. It's all the calf raises with straight legs, bent legs. Reminder, treat it like an elevator. Don't let your chest sway back and forth. Here we have another board approach set. This one you're going to hurdle and stretch your feet out to a flat back in combination with an arm circle straight jump. Start with bent legs to your back and then try to work straight legs, just pulling your feet in front and getting your chest back. And with the jumps, you're just trying to coordinate when your feet are down, your arms are down. Handstand block set is next. You're going to do knee plank triple hops in coordination with trampoline handstand hops. Since we are using the trampoline, just make sure you're a little tighter through bracing your core, not letting yourself wiggle. The triple hops, you're going to drop down and then out 2 times. Please do not use this as good form. My wrist was killing me, so it wasn't the best. Then you have your 5 vault attempts. Yes, these are the same vaults from last time, but I don't have footage for some reason from the other ones. Moving on to day 3, at home conditioning. This is how I measure out my split squats. I sit on my leg, step forward, ta-da. And in this case, I want a little more glute, so I am going to lean forward with my chest. And of course, always double checking to make sure my knee is tracking with my toe. Now, I'm not going to tell you how much weight or how many to do, because not everybody has the same equipment and not everybody is at the same strength level. So if you don't have a lot of weight, you're probably going to do some higher reps. If you do have some heavier weight, then you don't have to do as many reps. Point is, you should feel fatigued in the last few reps. On the first week of this is just getting used to where you can do it. So I started with the bench, but then ended up just moving to the couch. It was easier to do these knee drives. On the hip thrust, make sure your hips are going flat at the top and you're squeezing your butt. On these knee drives, just make sure you're finding a good tempo and not letting your knee fly all over the place. Headed into renegade rows, just like last week, make sure you're pulling the weight to your hip and do not let those hips sway back and forth too much. Good old hollow rockers once again. And the last exercise is a push press. So you're going to bend your knees and use those legs to help drive the weight above your head. ribs stay in. I was toying around with using different weights. You can do single arm or you can do both arms at the same time. Either way, on the first set of everything, I would just focus on good form and use lighter weights and then move to heavier weights. All right, at home beam and floor, you're gonna start with finding a line. Wood floors are great, or you can find a line by using tape or just doing walks forward, side, back, like we would on a beam. I do want your arms out to the side for everything, so we're building some fatigue in those arms. Pinch those shoulder blades together. And then we're gonna switch it up with some heel toe walks. So still on the line, you're gonna drop your heel to the ground, roll through your toes, and go up to releve. And let's practice some pivot turns. So you're gonna go to a lock, pivot, step behind, lock, pivot. So every time you do it, you're using the same foot in front. And then go ahead and switch your foot so the other foot is in front on the way back. Either way, heels up nice and high and make those snappy. Forward scale holds, you're just gonna lift your foot to 45, which is technically more of an arabesque than a scale, but you're gonna try to hold that for 5 seconds. If it's too hard, drop your heel. Otherwise, try to do it in releve. Then the same thing applies for going backwards. Lift to an arabesque, hold it for 5 seconds. And then we're moving on to more floor. We are going to start in a bridge. Make sure your feet are elevated so you can do bridge rockers. You can see my shoulders are very tight, so it creates a little pinch in my lower back. So that's why I have my feet elevated. And then you're going to do shoulder shrugs with straight arms. And last but not least, some leg kicks with one leg at a time. Try your best not to avoid these. I know they're uncomfortable, but if you can withstand it, they will get better as you go. Next up, I call these push handstands because you're gonna think about creating the perfect line of a handstand while pushing against the wall. When you're on your belly, the focus is pulling those ribs up and in to create that straight line. And when you're on your back, you're gonna push your back into the ground. So we can't do it on the ground. How in the world are we gonna do it in the air in a handstand? And last but not least, don't get me in trouble. Make sure you have socks on. Don't get footprints all over your wall, but you're gonna do a tucked wall handstand. We're cutting out the legs so that we can focus on the upper body and creating that straight line. Fair warning, these are killers.